In the Wild West, lawmen hunted outlaws like wolves chasing deer. But every so often, they met a man who could turn the hunt around. This is the story of Silas Boone, the outlaw who outsmarted sheriffs, rangers, and pauses for nearly a decade, and carved his name into Western legend. The year was 1872. The frontier town of Silver Creek, Arizona was buzzing with fortune seekers. Miners pulled silver from the earth. Gamblers filled the saloon, and stagecoaches rolled in heavy with payrolls and gold dust. Silas Boone saw opportunity, not in mining, not in ranching, but in stealing from those who did. Tall, lean, and sharp-eyed, Silas had the look of a drifter. But behind that calm smile was a mind like a fox. He studied train schedules, stage routes, and patrol shifts. Where others charged in with guns blazing, Silas planned, plotted, and vanished like smoke before the law could catch him. His first job was small, a payroll wagon bound for Silver Creek's mine. Silas disguised himself as a wounded traveler. When the guard stopped to help, he drew his revolver and relieved them of $2,000 in gold. But instead of fleeing into the desert like most bandits, Silas did the unthinkable. He hid in plain sight. That same night, he sat at the Silver Creek saloon, calmly playing cards, the stolen gold buried beneath the floorboards of his rented room. By the time the guards staggered into town with their tale, Silas was already buying drinks for the sheriff. From that day, Silas Boone became a shadow on the frontier. He robbed stagecoaches wearing a preacher's collar, blessing passengers before vanishing with their cash. He derailed a train shipment by switching tracks, and then melted into a crowd of spectators who came to see the wreck. Once he even robbed a bank, then joined the posse sent to hunt himself. Each time the law grew angrier. Each time Silas slipped away. In 1875, Sheriff Ezekiel Harper, a grizzled lawman with a reputation for never failing, swore he'd bring Boone down. Harper set a trap, a decoy payroll guarded by 10 armed deputies. Word accidentally leaked into saloons, bait for Boone's ears, and Silas took it. But when the wagon rolled out, Boone didn't strike the convoy. Instead, he set fire to a barn on the far side of town. While the sheriff and his men rushed to fight the blaze, Boone calmly walked into the bank and emptied the real vault. By the time Harper realized the trick, Boone was already 2 counties away, leaving behind only a mocking note. "Sheriff, thanks for watching my back while I worked." Boone's exploits drew attention far beyond Arizona. The Pinkerton Detective Agency, famed for chasing Jesse James and Butch Cassidy, sent agents to hunt him down. But Boone seemed to be everywhere and nowhere. He would appear in Texas one week, robbing a stage, then turn up in Colorado the next, winning poker tournaments under a false name. Pinkerton reports described him as slippery as a rattlesnake in the grass. In 1878, Boone was finally cornered. A posse tracked him to an abandoned ranch house. Surrounded, outnumbered, the lawmen thought the chase was over. But Boone wasn't finished yet. As bullets tore through the walls, Boone vanished through a trapdoor into a hidden cellar. Crawling through a tunnel, he emerged half a mile away in a dry creek bed. By the time the lawmen stormed the house, they found only Boone's hat nailed to the wall, with another note: "Gentlemen, I regret I cannot stay." The legend of Silas Boone grew even larger. By the early 1880s, Boone had stolen more than $100,000, a fortune in his day. But every outlaw's luck runs out. One fateful evening, Boone was captured in El Paso while drunk and careless. Shackled and chained, he was placed on a train bound for trial in Austin. The lawmen who escorted him bragged that Boone's days of trickery were finally over. But Boone had one last trick. Halfway to Austin, the train screeched to a halt. Ahead, the tracks had been sabotaged, loosened and broken. The escorting lawmen rushed forward to investigate, and from the shadows, a group of masked riders appeared. Boone had arranged his own rescue, paying off mercenaries with stolen gold. In the chaos, he vanished into the desert night. What became of Silas Boone remains a mystery. Some claim he rode south into Mexico and lived rich under a false name. Others say he was killed by his own gang, the gold buried somewhere in the desert sands. But one fact remains. For For nearly 10 years, he made fools of sheriffs, rangers, and Pinkertons alike. And long after his name faded from wanted posters, saloons still whispered the same words. No lawman ever caught Silas Boone. He caught them. The Wild West was full of outlaws with fast guns, but Silas Boone's weapon was his mind, sharp, cunning, and always one step ahead. His story is a reminder that in the frontier, sometimes the cleverest outlaw could outgun an entire army without ever firing a shot. If you enjoyed this tale of the Wild West, subscribe to West Side Tales for more legendary stories, where fact and fiction ride side by side.